Hello, Book 2. For this Poetry Thursday, I wanted to do one of Shakespeare's sonnets. I felt like it's time I did a little Shakespeare. And today I'm going to be reading out of my Signet Classic Shakespeare, which has just the sonnets. And I really like this edition. It's got nice handy footnotes on the bottom of the pages. And so, like for today's sonnet number 55, there's a few terms that are better explained with the footnotes. I love it. It also has an introduction by W.H. Auden, and he actually cites a couple famous opinions by poets on the sonnets themselves. Let me see. He's got, let's see, here. He has, what does Wordsworth say about the sonnets? These sonnets beginning at 137 to his mistress are worse than a puzzle peg. They are abominably harsh, obscure, and worthless. The others are for the most part much better, have many fine lines and passages. They are also in many places warm with passion. Their chief faults, and heavy ones they are sameness, tediousness, quaintness, and elaborate obscurity. And then he has a quote from Hazlitt. If Shakespeare had written nothing but his sonnets, he would have been assigned to the class of cold, artificial writers who have no genuine sense of nature or passion. And then on the back of the copy, it has Auden himself with his opinion on what's been written by the sonnets, what's been written like about the sonnets. He says, probably more nonsense has been talked and written, more intellectual and emotional energy expended in vain on the sonnets of Shakespeare than on any other literary work in the world. I think it's basically because the meaning might not be completely coherent during the first or second readings, and sometimes it feels also that some of the lines or phrases are obscure because he's trying to fit a lot in just in the pentameter line, and so some word like sometimes it doesn't sound natural, some words are missing, but anyway, like I've been going through and there's all like these really nice little fine phrases, but today I want to share Sonnet 55. So here, I'll read it aloud. Not marble, nor the gilded monuments of princes shall outlive this powerful rhyme, but you shall shine more bright in these contents than unswept stone, besmeared with sluttish time. When wasteful war shall statues overturn, and broils root out the work of masonry, nor Mars his sword, nor war's quick fire shall burn the living record of your memory. 'Gainst death and all oblivious enmity shall you pace forth. Your praise shall still find room even in the eyes of all posterity that wear this world out to the ending doom. So, till the judgment that yourself arise, you live in this, and dwell in lovers' eyes. So there's a lot of great phrases. I love not marble, nor the gilded monuments of princes. So you're thinking of those tall statues gilded with the name of them by, anything, all their achievements or like dedications from the artist himself. But you shall shine more bright in these contents than unswept stone. Unswept stone, it says in the footnotes that is the memorial tablets in the floor of a church. And I love also the besmeared with sluttish time. I mean, you think of sluttish in this context means dirty. So you think of things that are being laid out and they slowly accumulate dust, either by just the passing of time or either dirt and dust by use. And so to call that sluttish. And when wasteful war shall statues overturn. So the exchanging of land through war, the rise and fall of nations, all in that short phrase. And broils root out the work of masonry. So masonry, I mean houses, castles, anything of use, whether defense or like for living. And then contrast that with statues itself, so art and dwellings. Let's see, nor Mars his sword, nor war's quick fire shall burn the living record of your memory. And so the living record is the sonnet itself. And so that's why he'll say, 'Gainst death and all oblivious enmities shall you pace forth. It says the footnotes aren't exactly clear on what oblivious enmity is. It says whether all enmity that brings oblivion, or enmity that brings oblivion to all. So I'm thinking enmity that brings oblivion. So on top of time, death, uncharitable fortune, things that that bring on that oblivion. Your praise shall still find room even in the eyes of all posterity that wear this world out to the ending doom. So all eyes, all living beings that wear this world out, that are here until the very last day, that wear it out, that wear out the world, that are alongside, that live alongside until that last second, the doomsday. So till the judgment that yourself arise, you live in this and dwell in lovers' eyes. So I like that you dwell in lovers' eyes. People, lovers who are reading this and are reflecting, probably feeling the same feelings, same passions arisen that inspired this sonnet. The image, or like the spirit, comes alive again. So, yeah, it's just one of my, and there's plenty of other, I mean, the sonnets themselves, I like this sonnet, but I've got a post-it note, and I've got at least like 10 other sonnets that I really like that have this. There's nice phrases, and like, because some of the sonnets that are weaker, sometimes they don't have a volta, which is like the turning point in the thought of the sonnet, which is kind of like an invitation to the climax. So you might have quatrains, like 8 or so lines that are going in one directions, and then you'll have a but then, or you might have a but since. You have that kind of turning phrase that then switches, it's like there's like a change of the train of thought, or a switch of emotion, and then the couplet, and so you follow that emotion, and then the couplet comes, and kind of like sometimes it actually contributes to the climax, to that growing feeling of that second emotion. But then sometimes it can be anticlimactic in some of his sonnets, where it seems to kind of just rehearse the theme. It's kind of like you got the message, like, right, you understand what the poem's about. Then when you get to that last couplet, it kind of just rehearses the theme. It's like, oh yeah, well that's, just kind of like clarifies it for you. But it's kind of anticlimactic because you're expecting, like, at the end for like the you don't expect a summary. You kind of expect like the climax of that second emotion. So, but I like this one. I think it does that nice. It kind of weaves closer into that second emotion than being just simply. And if it just a recap. So yeah, that was sonnet number 55 by William Shakespeare, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.